I swear to God, when Miyazaki was writing the Sekiro script, he made a joke in the footnotes somewhere and wrote this, but he probably forgot to put the L at the beginning. And the devs at the studio took that literally. And boom, that's exactly how Fountainhead Palace was created in Sekiro. You don't believe me? Here is the proof. The Divine Child tells us that the dragon's heritage isn't from Japan, it's from the west of Japan. And guess what's west of Japan? Literally China. Some of the enemies in this zone, who are ladies by the way, are straight up juggling a soccer ball and even doing bicycle kicks. You guys might not know this, but there's been a long beef between England and China over who actually invented soccer. And honestly, the Chinese kinda have a point in this argument. Like 2500 years ago, they had this ball game called Kuju, which literally translates to kickball. On top of that, if you look at the prime boss of this area and compare it to the dragon from Kung Fu Panda, Po's face would look exactly like this. Wait, there's more proof. Another type of enemy in this area looks like this, and if you Google it, you'll run into pictures just like this. Also, the damage these enemies dish out is done with something that looks like a flute, specifically the Ryuteki and the Hichiriki. The Ryuteki is a straight-up ripoff of ancient Chinese flutes, and the Hichiriki is basically the Japanese version of the Chinese instrument, guan. But it doesn't even end there. The status effect these enemies inflict, which is nasty as hell by the way, literally translates to years of life. And the crazy part is, in ancient Chinese folklore, there's this ruthless monster named Nian, who comes out from the depths of the mountains and the sea on New Year's just to devour people's lifespan and youth. Even the whole overarching theme of immortality and water in Sekiro, especially in this section of the game, is heavily rooted in the Chinese philosophy of Taoism. Historically speaking, Miyazaki based this whole area on Japan's Heian period. But here's the kicker. Back in that era, the Japanese were completely obsessed with Chinese culture and basically copy-pasted everything from Tang Dynasty China. So, in reality, Miyazaki went and built a location based on a Japanese bootleg of China. So yeah, this might be called Fountainhead Palace in the game, but its actual real name? Actual China. What's up guys, Ehsan here and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're finally stepping into a whole new land in this game. It's pretty much the last area we haven't explored yet, and trust me, we've got a ton of work to do here. And just like I explained at the start of the video, this place is somehow deeply connected to Japan. But at the exact same time, it has absolutely nothing to do with Japan. Right off the bat, we gotta fight the actual version of the corrupted monk, who's basically the gatekeeper to this area. This damn boss has 3 phases. The first phase is exactly like that illusion version we fought back in episode 17. But for the second and third phases, we don't even have to fight her normally if we play it smart. There are a bunch of trees around the arena, and those branches over the bridge let you use your grappling hook. When you're fighting her in phase 1, try to stay roughly in the middle of the bridge. As soon as you hit that first death blow, grapple up to this branch instantly. Right as phase 2 starts, you can pull off a plunging death blow straight onto her head. This isn't a bug or some glitchy Nothing in From Software games is placed there by accident, including this tree branch. Just like that, phase 2 is over. Now in phase 3, a creepy centipede pops out to her head. She gets super aggressive, busting out whole new movesets. And worst of all, she can inflict terror damage with that disgusting puke-like. For phase 3, we're gonna straight up abuse Fistful of Ash. We didn't hoard all this ash for nothing. You can also use firecrackers on top of that. The start of phase 3 gives you a little window of time to pop a Yashariku's sugar, and if you want, some divine confetti too. Here's the breakdown for phase 3. Throw a fistful of ash right in her face, land 3 attacks, and repeat this until her posture breaks. If you run out of those 10 ashes, just switch to firecrackers. It's that easy to destroy all 3 phases of this prime boss. By beating the corrupted monk in this area, you get an item called the Dragon's Tally Board. This unlocks infinite divine confetti and snap seeds at every single merchant in the game. From this point on, we can buy as much divine confetti as we want. That's why, before stepping into this new land, we should go kick the first headless's ass and get infinite gachin sugar. Because trust me, we're gonna need it here. There are 5 candies in the game, and each one represents a specific headless. Defeating any of these 5 rewards you with the Spiritfall version of that candy, meaning you can just consume spirit emblems instead of wasting your actual items. It's honestly kinda wild how the game gives you this nice cute candy version first and then drops this creepy Spiritfall version on you later. But the most important thing is how you actually fight these headless bastards. They are complete cancer. First of all, as soon as you step into their fog, you get heavily slowed down. Say goodbye to Sekiro's usual agility. Second, their terror damage is insane as their weapon has an enchantment, so if you don't hit a perfect deflect, your terror bar builds up insanely fast. You will literally die of fear rather than the actual sword swing. And deflecting their hits is no walk in the park either, because every single one of their moves is a delayed attack. Blocking is completely useless against them, but luckily, we already upgraded our loaded umbrella to the anti-terror version. When you use Phoenix's lilac umbrella, you take 0 terror damage, so you don't even need to bother deflecting their attacks. Just pop open the Phoenix's lilac umbrella and let them wail on you as much as they want. Your terror won't build up and your health won't drop a single bit. But obviously, you gotta hit back at some point. So when is your window to attack? It's when the headless vanishes right in front of your face. When he does this, he's trying to catch you off guard. Basically, he wants to sneak up behind you and rip your soul right out of your backside. Lore-wise, what that thing actually is doesn't matter. What matters is that you gotta make sure you protect your cheeks in this fight. And ironically, this is the absolute best time to punish him. Whenever he disappears, it means he's about to spawn right behind you. You need to instantly pull a 180-degree turn and start slashing away. If you don't do this, or if you're a second too late, well, you're gonna get your cheeks absolutely clapped. But if you time it right, you can land a good 5 to 6 hits in this window. By doing this, you've successfully protected your cheeks and dealt massive damage. Do not get greedy with more than 5 or 6 attacks, seriously. Right after, quickly pop your Phoenix's lilac umbrella back open and hold it up. Let him go crazy attacking you until he vanishes again, and then it's your turn to punish. A super important note here. Headless only take real damage when you have Divine Confetti active, just like the Shichimen warriors. In the last episode, we talked about the Projected Force skill and how it lets you do a follow-up attack after using the loaded umbrella. But when fighting a headless, do not do that, because the Projected Force follow-up attack will completely wipe out your Divine Confetti weapon buff. Whenever it's your turn to attack, take your finger off the prosthetic tool button, and to be absolutely safe, don't press anything for about a second so the follow-up attack doesn't trigger. Then, start swinging. For anything you need to do, whether it's attacking, healing, or reapplying your Divine Confetti buff, always wait for that exact window when he teleports away. This is the easiest goddamn way to cheese the headless. I wish you guys the best of luck, and honestly, good luck to your cheeks too. Let's go.
よう旦那、また商いが必じゃあな。
何か。お前せいぜい
You gotta watch out for these damn palace nobles, because they use their flutes to inflict this special enfeeble abnormality on you, and if that bar fills up, you straight up turn into an old man. All 3 of your resurrection nodes get disabled, your health bar shrinks to absolutely nothing, and you're forced to use your Kusabi Maru as a walking cane instead of a weapon, just to keep from falling over. I am being dead serious right now. One simple attack, and you're dead on the spot. You gotta be fast. But there are 2 good things here. First, these palace nobles are squishy as hell and die in one single hit. And second, thank God From Software never brought this enfeeble mechanic into any other game besides Sekiro. This item right here, the precious bait, is important in the game, and we're gonna need 3 of them for the upcoming parts. Now, the game itself actually guarantees 3 precious baits that you can easily pick up. But this specific one I just got, I'm pretty sure it's just a random drop. But we don't need more than 3 anyway. Alright guys, that's a wrap for part 22. We've got a ton of work to do in this land for at least the next 4 episodes. So make sure to stay tuned for the upcoming parts and take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys in the next one.